Musings of a Madwoman, which is a book that came out last year, September 2018. It follows the lives of three women: Patricia, who's a young, successful romance novelist; Kiernan, who's an older Broadway actress; and Marcia, who's a New York City litigator, when their lives are turned upside down by a meteorite engineered by an alien royal family bent on reclaiming political power. By harnessing the powers manifested in the Earth women who are exposed to the meteorite. And I'm going to introduce you to two of the three main characters now with two short excerpts. So the first one's Patricia, when she's at her book reading. Standing in front of a rapt audience, Patricia Stites concentrated on reading, enunciating each word, and using her voice to convey her character's emotions. She could hardly believe she was in front of so many people while reading a passage from her best-selling romance, Starlight, Starbright, Make My Wish Come True Tonight. The first and only book she'd ever written. She felt as if she were in a dream, a damn awesome dream. Taking a steadying breath, Patricia glanced at the page. A flurry of activity caught Jenny's eye. Turning, she froze in amazement, not daring to believe the object of her affection stood not 6 feet away. Rooted to the spot as a wave of awareness roared through her, Jenny concentrated on breathing. The handsome man strode toward her. Once he reached Jenny, her eyes widened, mouth opening and closing several times before her eyes rolled back, and as if a Victorian heroine, she fainted. Patricia finished with a grin, gratified to find some people chuckled and clapped. She answered a few questions before moving to a table where several novels were stacked. As she signed books and handed them to her visitors, she tried to contain the broad smile fighting to surface, thrilled so many people came to the event, astounded even. Turning to the next person, Patricia sucked in her breath, blinking. She sat up straight, her visitor delivering a brilliant smile. Will you sign my book? Rudy Singlewood asked. Patricia took it automatically and lifted the book cover. Well, this is a switch. Pausing before she wrote an inscription, she gazed at the woman through lowered lashes. Do you remember me? Of course, you gave me those wonderful roses. Thinking for a minute, Patricia scribbled, life is short, take chances, Patricia M. Stites. Looking at the words, the actress laughed. I wish I had taken a chance. Patricia smiled. There are no mistakes, and no need to regret any decisions you've made. You did what felt best for you at the time. Thank you for coming. Rudy reacted to the polite dismissal by nodding. Then she leaned toward Patricia in an intimate pose. Would you consent to having dinner with me tonight? I may have wasted time, but I intend to make up for it if you allow me. Patricia's stomach dropped at the offer while heat raced through her veins. It was one thing to fantasize how Rudy would waltz into her life and sweep her off her feet, and quite another for it to actually happen. Refusing to let her insecurities get the better of her, she stuttered her consent, and they arranged to meet in front of a restaurant at the hotel. So that's Patricia. Now I want to introduce you to Marcia, the New York City litigator, when she comes into contact with the meteorite. Marcia had arrived at Sunny Horizon Resort 2 days ago, ready to have a good attitude while participating in team-building exercises with her colleagues. The property was idyllic, with the largest group according to a visitor's goal, whether it was a conference, retreat, or spa treatments. It was a balmy evening with a full moon, and she could hear the sounds of frogs and crickets merging with the cacophony of voices floating toward her from the garden. No doubt some were walking the labyrinth, while others sat on benches beneath the oak trees. The voices faded as she circled the far edge of the lake, the sound of the water's lazy current soothing Marcia's mind. The smell of burning sycamore tickled her nose. Marcia guessed a small bonfire was the cause, but a pleasant flower fragrance captured her attention. Looking around, she spotted several clumps of forget-me-nots, their beautiful blue petals and bright yellow centers beckoning her to take a closer look. She followed a nearby trail, ascending a grassy knoll before zigzagging up a steeper incline, leading her farther away from the resort. Having followed this trail before, she knew the view would be worth the effort. Once she reached the crest of the steep hill, she leaned over, hands on knees, taking deep breaths. Noticing part of the sky brightening from navy blue to indigo, Marcia squinted as two streams of smoke cut through the sky at a downward angle. The sky became brighter and brighter. A massive boom sounded, and a concussive force traveled in waves toward the ground. The light, now a fiery yellow, became blinding and moved directly toward her. Horrified, Marcia ducked, and a moment later she felt her body lifted in the air, debris raining down around her. She hit the ground hard. Pain blinded her. Marcia had no idea how long she was unconscious. It could have been a few seconds or several minutes. Her head throbbed, and a loud ringing filled her ears. Her head felt worse than that time she'd gotten drunk in college and spent the night hugging the toilet. She never allowed herself to drink like that again. After breathing through her nose for several minutes, the ringing receded. A quietness replaced it, an unnatural silence. No wildlife stirred, no faraway voices carried on the breeze, no rustling leaves or gurgling water. Marcia could hear nothing. Reaching for her head, she felt wetness coat her fingers. She opened her eyes, squinting. Sound eventually returned, and Marcia was glad any hearing loss was temporary. She sat up, groaning, as the spike of pain shooting through her head. Looking around, she saw she was about 50 yards away from the top of the trail. "Geez," she whispered, "what the hell was that?" The area around her was flattened, and several rocks about the size of her fist were smoking. Well, those couldn't have done that. Rising, Marcia wandered around the area. As she got closer to a steaming meteorite, she inhaled some of the fumes. It was like breathing in a hot spring. She'd never seen a meteorite up close before. It was massive, at least the size of a compact car, as black as a crow and as smooth as steel. Stopping, Marcia gathered some leaves. She knew this was a stupid idea, but that didn't stop her from extending her hand and allowing the leaves to touch the space rock. When nothing happened, Marcia stepped forward enough to hold her hand close to the meteorite. She didn't feel any heat. Worrying her lower lip between her teeth, Marcia tried to talk herself out of it. "Don't be stupid. It's probably hot enough to give you third-degree burns." The problem was that she was always so in control. She never allowed herself to color outside the lines. She did what was expected. She bottled her desires, big and small. But when would she ever get the opportunity to touch a meteorite again? And with no one around, she placed her hand on the side of the meteorite.